Dancer, choreographer, and philosopher Jaro Vinarsky, and also fantastic artist, dancer, choreographer, also Matthew Rogers. And is Sonia going to come?
I hope so.
Really hope to meet her as well.
Matko and call Tomasz as well. Okay.
And of course Tomasz Morávek, who did the light in this performance. In the two performances, sorry. And we are waiting for them. Just a minute. But until that, let's start with jaro.
Okay.
So, thank you. It was a brilliant, for me it was a brilliant, mesmerizing performance. Not just because I truly admire your physical trouvaille, but also when the lights went down and we were in the complete darkness, I just lost sense of time and space also, because the darkness brings you in a different context. And I think it's also a very important part. The light is important, very important in this performance. Did you create the light together with the choreography, or did it add to it later?
Well, the story of this piece is very simple, actually. First of all, this piece is created from the, let's call it trash material from other show I did in this period with Belgian choreographer Karin Ponches. I work for last 10 years as well. And we had 40 hours of material for our piece, which by the end is 1 hour. And it was very intense, a very intensive period of rehearsing. And I was just about to do something. Actually, I had to do a piece because year before, 2004, I got prize in one competition. I got 15,000 Czech crowns to do for next year for opening a new show. But I was so like giving a lot for other piece that I just didn't have nothing else to do. So I wasn't inspired beside that work, and I really put a lot there. So, and I remember once I had coffee with a choreographer, with Karin, and so I was complaining about like, oh my God, what I do in 1 month, you know, I have to show something. And she was like, what are you complaining about? There is 40 hours of material which we are not using for a show, and you and other guy, because it's a duet, you create it, so go through those 40 hours of material and work with that. I was like, really? I thought that if once the material goes for the show, it stays there. And she was like, no, why? Let's recycle it. Okay, so I really did. I was watching 40 hours, making notes, and really taking just the physical material. And then I started to work with it, and I had very, how to say, any clear idea about. I just knew that I wanted to work somehow with perspective and with illusion of what audience can perceive by eyes, and etc., etc. And first part of piece was already done when I called the light designer of this show, Pavel Kotlik, and we started from this idea, and then for the rest of the piece was created parallel with him. And actually the last thing which came to the piece was music, which is already existing music. And yeah, so he came a little bit later, but I'm telling you, this piece was created in 1 month, so he came maybe after 1 week, when I had already some material of first part, and I had this idea, but I didn't know like how to manage it. So, and he came up with this idea, and we spent a lot very beautiful nights in one theater in Prague. Really nice, very nice. And then he couldn't always come and do lights during the show.
Even a premiere.
Even a premiere, yes, this was funny. And the premiere was made even not by Tomáš, but another Slovak dancer, Luca Kašiarová. She did first. And then I started to work with Tomáš Moravek, and because we have other pieces, and for example this combination of Xira and the last step before, because Tomáš created a light design for Xira, so it's much more efficient if he is traveling. But in between, Pavel was coming with me here and there. So this is the story. I talk more than I was asked.
And what about the light design of Xira that was already made by Tomáš? So first it was actually, then when I understand well, it was a practical thing that he does the light design for all your pieces when he is with you, traveling with you. But what about the other piece when you create together? That's totally different stuff. How do you experience Jaro as a creator? How can you work together?
I don't know what to say. It's so maybe I can say like this. Okay, when I start to do the lights and I start to think, okay, this is something creative, and I was learning that year by year. For example, everybody has some dream, some wish, something which he wants to reach, and I was thinking like, once maybe I will do the project, which will be. I will be there since the beginning, and I will do the light design, and then I will have a world tour, and that will be my dream. And it will happen for 2 years and 5 years, and then the show will be still sell. And then I met this guy. I saw the premiere of the last step, and then I started to really be kind of interested of what he's doing, and then it just quite naturally happened that I started to work with him, and it just became to be also friends. And then by years, were just going, and then I realized that my dream is actually to find someone like he is, and to work with him as long as possible. So I don't know what I should say more.
You said previous to the festival in an interview that while you are in the light desk, you are also dancing with Jaro. So
I left the t-shirt, the green. Actually, I was half naked because I was really sweating into the lighting desk. So even my head was out of the window. So I also feel the lower back. So probably there is also some physical experience. I was just saying before the show, Jaro, I didn't kiss you, sorry, but I will be touching you all the time by the lights. So that's what I feel. I just wish that it's incredible. Thanks to Pavel, of course.
Yeah, this piece actually needs this, because it's really about the light and body, even this choreography wouldn't work in different lights. It's actually the material. It's actually nothing in a way. Yeah, that it really needs the support of the light. So, and I think this balance works really in relating to each other. I had also with Pavel this all the time that I could really feel him through the distance because all of changes and everything. Sometimes I'm in panic because sometimes I have this strange little nightmare about like what if technically something happened that some other light just show up or something and I will be in very strange position doing something because actually I'm doing in second part especially I'm doing a lot of stuff you can't see for what I need to change in a space in order to create all this illusion around, and it's I don't know how many percent of the show is not visible.
Not so much.
I find the idea fantastic. Like, it's really intriguing that you're watching something that's not visible. Yes?
Do you have to be, do you have to pay attention to anything other than where you are in the light? You know what I mean? In the beginning?
Well, especially in the first part, you know, when everything is down, yeah, I kind of lost concentration. I kind of lost control about where I'm in space. Very often happens that I have seconds of like, oh my God, where I am. Sometimes I crash, you know. Sometimes I crash and I'm lost, but I still have to be in movement somehow. But no, and for me then it's the whole energy and all communication, all sharing between me and what is going on with you there. It's yeah, it's not so. Yeah, I'm very sad that I can't see this show. But for the most, yeah, it's about space.
Well, if you have any questions, do that. Just raise your hand or just signal and I will pass on the mic. So, if you want to comment, yeah?
I would say I am speechless, but I won't because I will speak. But in the interview you said that it was a really close collaboration between you and the light design. But in my opinion, it was not a collaboration. It was reading together. So, well, wow. Thank you for this. It was a really new experience for me. With this black box situation, but it was much more than black box. It was really that you are somewhere in the space. It was really about I had really the feeling that you are flying because there were no borders, and this is a really good choice to try to picture this situation you had. And also the music, it was so loud in a way, but it reminded me that Jimi Hendrix said when he just jumped out of the airplanes, he had this very atmospheric music in his ears, and sometimes the music was scratchy too, so it was really exciting. And what I wanted to ask, I forget that. A few minutes later. Thank you.
So until that, let's go on with the duet. It was another kind of choreography. I mean, not the kind that, of choreography when the choreographer has a concept and wants to realize it through the dancers. But Jaro told also in his interview that he was inspired by your meeting and your synergy and your shared intimacy that you basically had as humans, and that inspired him and to create a duet, or to suggest you to create a duet, and then he helped you as an outside eye to realize it. What is going on between you actually?
I am watching her and being supportive and yeah, you know, trying to be present and dance. Yeah.
Well, I would say that it's just kind of like natural, whatever, like dialogue, like shifting between different like games, in a way. And well, there is not much of like I don't want to say concept or thinking, but it's just like how it is, you know. It's not like, oh, we are going through this like specific story. Like it's more like yeah, because also like some of the reference points were like still images of the first improv we had, and then we had really like creature, like you know, like a different kind of language we would create between us, and we try to start from that, and then it's just evolving to. Well, I think because the piece is created out of like improvisations we were doing together, and they were always very smooth and like connected. And then I think we are still a bit fighting with the fact that now it's a set material we have to go through, and it's very kind of problematic technically in a way, and how to find this. And I think Jaro is there always with us, like supporting us with the thing, like, you know, like, oh, where it needs to go, don't be too like stuck on the fixed thing. And yeah, so we are finding, I guess, the freedom of the natural connection inside of a kind of fixed material. Yeah, I would say.
If anyone, yeah, there's.
I don't need. Do I need the microphone?
We have to do it because of the recording. So.
Oh, okay. Thank you for the performance for the duet. I was intrigued by, it seemed from the beginning where we came in till nearly the end of the piece, there was a beautiful equality between the man and the woman, or they weren't really man and woman, two dancers, but suddenly at the end the woman gets, the female gets this very different image, the song, the individual dance. And I was a little concerned that the man had been forgotten a little bit, and I wondered whether there was a revenge on the man, or it seemed to me a little unresolved that the woman suddenly, at the end of this equality process, suddenly she has a big number, a big solo. And I wondered why.
I'm sorry, I just have to say that I absolutely haven't seen the equality. I've seen that I could just concentrate on him, and it's absolutely about him, and she was supporting him, and it for me it was very good built. I mean, I thought that it's by purpose, of course, because it's Caesar, that in the end I could just concentrate on her. So it was a big surprise for me in the end. That, oh wow! So it's like cool dramaturgy.
Oh. No, thanks for both insights, actually. And I'm very glad that they are not, let's say, not opposite, but different. Because actually, nothing in this piece is created on purpose. Because
Really?
Yes.
That's not true.
Well, it's, let's say, okay.
The interpretation is not pushed.
Okay, or let's say that.
But there's a lot of intentionality going on.
Yes, but again, it started from really and this is always happening in my work. I never start with really clear idea of what I want to say. Because I like to play when I create, so I can of course start from something, and in this case it was really, I saw 3 concrete photos from their improvisation in New York during some exhibition, and I just felt something, and I really just suggested to them, not even thinking to choreograph it or something, that they should do something more with that. But none of them were into choreograph it as well, so we started to work together. And I was following first of all that. But when we created the physical material, dance material, movement material, it started revealing, okay, let's say something beneath it, yeah. And but I would say that it's all unconscious in a way. Work on it. That then yes, I was kind of supporting the it is even Matthew is not really man or something. He has some weird makeup. So is it really man, woman? It's about masculine, feminine. I know that there is, for example, a layer. Many people read it like this: man just stepping on woman who finally rise, discovering her femininity. Yeah, there is also kind of like I wanted. It came in a way also from the moment that I wanted to provoke in Sonia some other kind of being on a stage. I wanted to see her more wild, less nice, or something like that. So, but why it is like it is, and that you can see it in this way or that way, and this is totally cool, happened really from the point of working with movement, which is quite, I think, different. So intentions came somewhere on the way, but it wasn't like imposed on it. It was like, oh, this seems like. Something like that.
Oh.
No, because there was this question about the process. So the Xera is actually a very good example that they were already working. There was some. I don't know if you had already some showing. Doesn't matter. But they asked me like to come into the project by late, compared to previous project which got Animal Inside. Like it really came like I don't know 4 days before, really 7 days. But Jaro was already thinking about some visuality, and he invited not stage designer, but he invited like graphic designer, and he was like really a conceptual artist. It was completely, if you will see the premiere, it was completely different show. I mean, there were, not because the last step before, it was like, there were red lights, there was a drawing on the floor, you know, like some symbols and stuff like that, and step by step, we just like, after the premiere was, people were like, and we also were a little bit like, and then the next time we just move out, I think the drawing, and then I start to think like, then maybe the lights, because we start to be busy, actually me, with like how all those things happen, you know, it was very, because there was also this impact of the music, and Jaro told me like the music is made by the guy who made the exhibition, and there he used actually a lot of red color and etc. etc. So I was inspired by this because all the communication was just through the emails or calling and etc. So I was inspired by the red color, and then actually at the premiere, I think I finally saw this image from New York, and they are sitting in a white room, the white wall with the window, the heating, really kind of like home or industry, or not more home, but they are sitting on the grass, on the real grass. So and then it starts, you know, like in the premiere they didn't have a grass, they had LED rectangle around them, you know, so very extreme things, you know, and then I was just, you know, going like more simple, more simple, more simple. What does it mean that? Okay, do you agree with it? What if you are going to buy the grass? And what if you'll use more like white lights? What if I will just make something like 5 cues, or I will try to do as less as possible, you know? So the concept is like that, you know, that you kind of like, also the lights, like make it very, very like gentle or, you know, fragile. Yeah, so that's about the process with Jaro, you know. So actually the process is also that you play always again and again, and we are trying to do that again and again, and every night it's different.
Yeah, but I can admit that by the end it became for me kind of like resurrection of woman, you know, like even I don't care about sexual whatever or these differences, but in Eastern Europe we know we still are very tough with what the man is supposed to do, what the woman. I'm coming from east part of Slovakia, which is very, very clear. So somehow it triggered it also because for me Matthew, by his visage, isn't really whatever. Yeah, so it's somehow, and because I wanted to trigger something else in Sonya's dancing as well, so it's somehow mixed together and became what it is. But this intention to create this wasn't from the beginning. I mean like storyline or idea line or metaphor or something.
Thank you. I just want to say that I really appreciated that. This kind of borderline, what is this, what is the relationship, they are playing, there are men and women, creatures, what's that? But then I also appreciated that I read that you dominated her, like it's not directly, but it's in there, and it's really in this irritative way. So I appreciated that suppleness, that even I questioned myself. I saw it and I was like, yeah, it's abusing, and then I'm like, it is. Yes, it is. So it was really this irritating edge, and for me in the end, I don't know. I felt really, relieved and beautiful and strong and kind of shocking, not really, but according to the suppleness. So I really, really liked it. And to the light, I enjoyed it so much. Like, I was like, oh, I think no change happened since a long time. I was like, oh, it's so good. It's so good to see the playfulness and these nuances. Like, yeah, and then in the end, got changed, so I write the rhythm of the light, yes. It's had a very pleasing rhythm to me. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Hey, if you still have comments, just go ahead and share. Yes.
I was just curious for Jaro, how do you manage doing so much movement in the dark? I mean, how do you get that done?
Yeah, I'm always surprised by this darkness. All the time. Each time I'm like, oh, too dark here. Yeah, it's what I said before, that I have to have really open eyes and to see. I have a few like points in a space which are not easy to get in this quick movement, but I get used to orientate myself very quickly in the darkness. But I said also before that sometimes really happen, and I don't know how it happened, but it happened that I got lost. I don't know where are you, where I am, and where is the edges of the stage. So it's very adventurous to be inside that place.
I have a question about the costume for your solo.
This costume was created by, at that time, very young two guys who were studying. What they were studying? They were studying, how do you call it, when you sew stuff, and fashion design or something like that. Not really. And I met them somewhere. Yeah, it was probably week before opening, and I didn't know like a costume. Okay, what? And I met them somewhere in a bar. Someone introduced me to them, and they were so like enthusiastic about like, oh, we would like to do something. I was like, okay, so let's come on, see what we are doing, and then we were discussing, yeah, what it should be, and they come up with this idea of, yeah, it's also a costume which I don't feel completely like home in it, but I was like, well, guys want to do it, they appreciate it, they like it, let's have it what they came out with. And then was more, the question was about the color. And yeah, this is another thing, that very dark red and projected on a red costume, which finally worked as well, so other color wouldn't be there.
It seems white, actually.
For, Seems like white.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, probably because it's red, but you know more about colors than I do.
I want to say one thing. Go to the darkness, you will see more. For example, I know also in Budapest there is a blind exhibition. You can feel that. You can feel what he's feeling on the stage. And the second thing is that actually all the time during the show, your brain is cheating. We are cheating. Actually, we are creating something by the combination of using simple principles. But all what you saw, the person next to you saw something completely different because we have different things. Yes, it's just your brain. You know, you sometimes you see it's yellow. I see more yellow in the end than others. Maybe I don't know. You see something there. So, but it's your brain and your eyes. You know, it's just a coincidence. Actually, you can count it, but still, it's something like the coincidence there.
It's like the blue and black dress, or gold and blue dress.
You see gold
from Facebook.
Yeah,
See gold.
yeah,
You know?
I, for example, sometimes have a feeling, because I don't see you, and because the music is kind of loud, I sometimes have a feeling that I hear voices. I think that you are like talking a lot about, or that there is some life very like this shaky going on.
I heard you crying today.
Yeah. Okay.
I can show you the audience reaction. No movement, no movement.
I do sound sometimes because it helps me.
So, do you know that the eyes are actually connected to the brain? They're part of the brain itself. But my reaction was that this is so low light that you know, there's hallucinations and so on that happen. But because, you know, have you ever tried to like do your eyes back and forth and your body starts to get involved? There are these moments watching and your movements are so fast that my body just starts. And since it was so dark, I know that nobody can see. So I could just like do that and be involved physically with you.
That's great. That's
and it was
great.
wonderful.
Yeah, I think it's what we have to do is dance pieces more to really be involved, not just like sit and watch, but yeah, to at least to imagine ourselves being in certain moment we are watching. I'm now a lot into it because in Slovakia still, you know, we have this like how boring was it, contemporary dance, something moving body, saying nothing, blah blah blah. So we don't have audience, and we were speaking a bit about it. That I think there is one craziest thing to say about dance. That dance is an art most abstract is just not true, because one human body, it's not abstract at all. So seeing bodies moving on the stage through the space, I never felt with dance abstract. Maybe because I'm a dancer, I don't know, but I'm very glad you are saying this. So maybe this is those voices I was perceiving.
What are they saying?
Yeah? What?
The voices.
Voices, nothing. I don't understand what they are saying.
Would you like to share something? Yeah. I just want to ask something to the audience, or how I felt. I got really sad after a while, and I was really crying. Like some very old memories came, like from the womb, and I don't know. I cannot explain what it was, and then I saw it, and it was such a strong contrast somehow, because I don't know how other people perceived it and how you, but for me this is how it was, and I was very surprised, and but that was the truth among any other things. It was also very entertaining and magical, but somehow this was really strong. I don't know from where it comes.
Yeah. This piece is very special for me. First of all, because it was created from zero, from nothing, from no intention, from no idea, it came from nothingness. Only thing I really had was this material to work with, but I really didn't feel like I want in a sense that now I want to do something on stage and to show something and say something, I remember that premiere night when I was like, okay, I do and I'm gonna be done with that, and it's okay, I did it because I had to. And piece finished, and there was like around 5 minutes silence, which I experienced a lot after that piece. Mostly everywhere. After a long time, you clapped sooner than we are usually used to. And then this piece starts just to tour a little bit, not really tour, because what is paradox about this piece that it can be recorded. Actually, we tried a few times, but it's not possible to make a video of it. So it's I can't even send it nowhere. When I performed it, it happened all the time that some organizers of the festival or programmers from the theater were around, and it traveled like this. But I really don't perform a lot this piece since 2004, 12 years now. It's probably something now between 40 and 50 performances I did with it. And I can relate to what you are saying, because I have very nice, and very touching feedbacks and shared thoughts and feelings from the people. And actually this piece for me it's about being surrender in a way, because I don't own it in a way. I don't own it. It happened. It happened. I don't know how it's here, and I'm sharing this with people, and I'm very happy that what people feel. But I have no answer. Like what's going on actually. I'm trying to surf somehow.
Okay, then we are closing the discussion for tonight, and we are very happy if you come tomorrow too, and join us for Judith's finissage here in the Met Gallery, just round the corner at 11 o'clock in the morning. There's going to be a wonderful strudel baking action as well, so you are really welcome to join if you're still here. And then we will meet in Valaikert for a summarizing discussion, and also for the last matinee concert of the L1 members who play music or do music any kind. So it's going to be fun, and it's all free tomorrow. Every program is free, so you're very welcome to join us, and hope to see you. And hope to see you again somewhere, someday, maybe next year or another.
I hope so. I would like to add and say one more thing. Big thank you to Marta and all members of L1 Association for having us here during whole week, at least me and Tomasz. Yeah, I enjoyed it very much, because I have to leave actually tomorrow. We all have to. Tomasz will stay. Yeah, so thank you a lot.